actually wasn't considered totally terrifying at the time. It was apparently a very popular commercial, as this flowing and looped art style was very popular during the time period, especially in music videos. However, by today's standards, there's something pretty unsettling about this trippy commercial and its strange imagery. The Levi's commercial is meant to advertise multiple products and styles in one commercial, which was quite unique for advertising at the time. The video is a flowing and ever-changing depiction of not only their products, but humanoid creatures as well. The ad starts with a conch shell, out of which swims a koi fish with a human face, which then becomes a smoking caterpillar wearing bell-bottom jeans on human legs, and so on.
And where would he wear Levi's stay-press slacks, or Levi's fashion jeans? Would he put Levi's herringbone on his fins? Levi's stripes on his wings? With Dacron polyester. What would he put in the pockets of our stay-press bush jeans?
The idea presented is the evolution of man, from bacteria and shells to full-on humans, except that regular human faces are thrown onto each stage of evolution, along with a pair of jeans. As if these human-animal hybrids aren't creepy enough, the whole thing is narrated by a very deep, aged, and terrifying voice. The kind of narration that wasn't uncommon for the era, but was still fairly terrifying. The same voice was featured in several other Levi's ads, such as Stranger, but here it has a godlike echoing horror to it. By the end of the commercial, we see some relief with two human males using the original conch shell as some sort of football. It doesn't last long before one of them fans their legs up and rolls back into the shell.
Men, we're glad you walk on two legs. Otherwise, you'd never get the chance to wear a pair of Levi's.
This commercial has gone down in history as one of Levi's most disturbing ads, but they can't be doing too bad if they're still profiting after all these years. Number 13, The Undeading. Published in October 2012 by the Heart and Stroke Foundation, this commercial features a woman in a post-apocalyptic zombie wasteland fighting to survive. The Halloween-themed commercial was filled with disgusting rotting corpses chasing this woman through dead city streets, as well as some pretty cool gory fight scenes. This woman suffers a heart attack during her fight to stay alive and not be eaten. The creepy and grotesque zombies immediately went into rescue mode and began to save the woman's life. A zombie dressed as a doctor calls 911 while another living corpse performs CPR. As this happens, tips for saving someone from a heart attack or stroke come on screen.
Alright, son, today we're gonna forge a sword. The first thing we need to do is mine our own.
That looked creepy, but it's informational.
This video seems innocent enough, just the Foundation's fun way of getting everyone into the spirit of Halloween and saving lives. But things get pretty dark when the woman awakens from her state and peers at the zombies that just saved her life, then gets eaten. After the zombies put in all that work to save her, we find out it's just because they wanted her fresh when they devoured her. Of all the ways this commercial could have ended, the creators chose a pretty morbid way of doing it. On the bright side, this video led to a huge event in which over 5,000 people were CPR trained. Number 12, Phones for You. This commercial was part of a Halloween-themed series for the phone company Phones for You, which isn't that scary in itself. But if you're watching TV late at night and you're unaware of the scary deals that are happening, you might be given a bit of a scare. This ad was published in 2011 during the series, and it features a woman alone in a parking garage, presumably after shopping at the mall. There's a quick shot of a very creepy little girl in a dirty white dress with long black hair and pale skin. Walking through the garage immediately feels a presence and begins running to her car. She manages to get into her car, and the creepy little ghost pops up on her window and says hello in a very ghostly, echoing voice.
Well-
She then proceeds to tell the woman about an amazing deal at Phones for You. Perhaps the
I wish
scariest part of
motherfucker-
this commercial is the chilling voice the
I wish a motherfucking ghost would, bruh. I'm scared. I'm gonna cry, man. I ain't gonna do nothing but cry and run. Cause you know, you touch the dead, you fucked out of luck. If you can touch them. Damn.
voice. She then proceeds to tell the woman about an amazing deal at Phones for You. Perhaps the scariest part of this commercial is the chilling voice the ghost has.
Hello, the Samsung Toco icon is only $59.95 on Pay As You Go. Phones for You, missing our deals will haunt you.
Imagining this on TV in the middle of the night
just watch
as
the
someone is
fucking
working
game
on their laptop or trying to fall asleep is pretty terrifying. It's also a little unfair as the viewer probably wasn't expecting this during their favorite late night talk show.
I mean, dang, bro.
Other ads in the series feature a creepy old man chasing someone through the woods, and though these are pretty weird, they're also pretty unique. The tagline for the series was, "Missing our deals will haunt you." Number 11, Japanese
Okay,
tire
what?
commercial.
What the
Japan is well known for their horror and their female ghosts.
Hell no! Hell no! Oh shit, bro. Hell no. That I don't fuck with that, man. What
Pretty
the?
much the Japanese coin for horror entertainment.
I'm fuck
This
with
tire
that.
company used that to their advantage with this tire ad. One of the biggest points of advertising is to make your viewers remember your commercials. And there's no doubts the viewers won't forget this one for a very long time.
No doubt.
The commercial
Ain't no
begins on
way.
a snowy road in the middle of the night, looking through a dash cam of some sort. As the driver travels down the long road, a white figure can be seen in the distance. As the car approaches, it's clear that the car begins to back away as the driver is probably concerned about the ghostly figure in the middle of the road. But then all of a sudden, the woman jumps right onto her windshield in a perfectly executed jump scare.
Shotgun. Oh yeah! What the fuck? Holy hell! Ooh! Ooh! What the fuck?
We suppose that she was a victim of a hit and run caused by faulty tires, but of course that's just speculation.
What?
Overall, this
the
commercial is
hell?
pretty terrifying.
Now I ain't going to sleep tonight. I'm fucking up already, man. I can't do this.
And again, very unfair to unsuspecting viewers. Imagine this coming on in between a late night show and you're uncertain what you're looking at until a ghost pops right up and scares the ever-living shit out of you. Props to this company for making an unforgettable ad that was probably talked about for months on end though.
Yeah, but
Number
not
10,
about what they were
Kinder Surprise
advertising.
commercial of nightmares. Do I
Humpty
have to talk
Dumpty?
about this one? This commercial comes from the late 80s when Kinder decided the best spokesperson for their surprise eggs was Humpty Dumpty.
Duh.
Kinder Surprise eggs are chocolate eggs that open up to reveal small toys or prizes inside. This commercial is literally so unsettling that it's hard to watch, yet somehow it became very popular as a meme with several remakes and remixes made
sure.
after it.
I'm sure.
The Humpty Dumpty creature looks
They
more
make a
like an
meme out of
egg-shaped
everything.
obese elderly man than an actual egg. His facial expressions are scary realistic, and its voice is strangely haunting as well.
Kinder,
What?
you're both shaky. Me unscrabbly.
He unwraps the egg and shrieks, and then is even more surprised to find a toy inside the chocolate egg.
Chock-a-doobie!
You remember when
Lovely
Chock-a-doobie?
chock-a-doobie! Pop swabble! Toy!
At least they got the surprise factor down for
Some
their
shit from
product,
Star Wars,
but the
bruh.
Humpty Dumpty creature is pure nightmare fuel. Seriously, did this company think their best bet was to scar children for life? I can't
Probably.
think of a single kid in the world who would find this cute or amusing and not at least a little
I
chilling.
see they're making a meme
The
out of
worst
this.
part of this commercial is a very short scene where the camera is zoomed in very closely to Humpty's eyes when he blinks. He goes from a creepy human-like egg to an unidentifiable humanoid creature that is sure to haunt your nightmares. This is one Humpty Dumpty that we all hope falls down. Oh, and by the way,
Damn right.
he does fall down. He throws his hands up to cheer and just falls backwards into a scene that we can only assume isn't full of eggshells, but is instead blood and guts. Surprise.
Yodel yum and choco scrum with multi-pop dies. Oh, lovely. He's Gruber now. Choco, wee.
Number 9, Fragile Childhood Monsters. This commercial is another PSA aimed to alerting the masses of a very serious and life-threatening issue. The ad was created and published by Fragile Childhood, which is a foundation that was started in 1986. According to their website, Fragile Childhood has persistently sought new and efficient methods to secure a least troubled life for children suffering from their parents' substance abuse. This PSA is not only very touching and a perfect example of what this organization works towards, it's also quite terrifying. It's common for PSAs to be scary in a sense because their aim is to really shake the minds of its target audience. This particular PSA takes that shaking to a whole new level. It can be assumed that the target audience for this is parents suffering from substance abuse problems, but pretty much anyone unlucky enough to view this commercial is bound to be haunted by it. The ad begins with several children in different settings looking towards an unknown character in fear, anger, and disgust. At first, it is uncertain who these glances are aimed towards. One scene features a sad little girl fiddling with a milkshake and looking off into the distance. As the camera takes the scene from another angle, we see the character whom she is upset with.
What the
and it's a
hell?
large, terrifying rabbit. The puppet-like rabbit has bulging eyes, sharp protruding teeth, and wiry hair.
Yo, that's like one of my fucking teachers, bruh. Somebody shitting their pants. Oh, damn, that is one of my
Scenes of
teachers.
children
me
walking
see
or
this on
playing
YouTube.
brings the audience to other terrifying
up
monstrous
right now.
creatures such as a pale hooded figure, a woman resembling a
like she
zombie with
is.
one eye hanging out of its socket, a bloody elderly clown, a decaying Santa Claus, and a man wearing a pantyhose mask.
That's a Satan shit.
A message pops up reading, "How do our children see us when we've been drinking?" It becomes clear that these monsters are a child's personification of their parents' alcoholism.
Alcoholism is some real shit out there, man. That poor kid, bro. He took that
Yeah,
last
it's sure to
breath.
make any parent think
He said, "Oh,
twice.
shit, I'm gonna
It
die
may
tonight."
even urge non-parents to work with Fragile Childhood in their efforts to better the lives of children. These childhood-derived monsters are very unsettling, and they prey on fears of children which most viewers can relate to from their younger years. Knowing that these
this
monsters
dude's
are actually
teeth.
their parents is surely sad, but
that?
also adds another
Big
aura
ass
of
nose.
horror. Number 8, Ronald McDonald debut. There's nothing too out of the ordinary for this commercial. Dated from 1963, this is the official debut of Ronald McDonald, the well-loved mascot for the fast food burger chain McDonald's. The clip was published on YouTube back in 2008 and was really brought
I'll
into
follow
fame
that.
in 2011. This depiction of Ronald McDonald is much different from the one we see today. He
Yeah.
wears a cup as a nose and a food tray as a hat. It's clear that the original goal was to have a clown costume that highly resembled aspects of fast food dining.
What
Despite
the
this
hell?
brilliant idea, the creation that occurred looks more like a haunted scarecrow than a human
It
dressed
really
as a
does.
clown. But for those who have a deep fear of clowns,
Some of them
this creature
referees,
still looks
bruh.
enough like a freaky shido to give you nightmares for a week.
Ronald! Ronald! Hey, Ronald! Here I am, kid. Hey, isn't watching TV fun?
That's an Android shit. That's an Android camera right there. That's the
Ronald,
first
you can't
Android
be
I bet.
on TV and watch it at the same time. Now,
Sure,
come on and
I'm
meet the
on an
boys and
Android
girls.
right now.
Oh, we've already met. I know we're going to be...
Towards the end of the commercial, Ronald's bell produces a tray holding a burger, fries, and a drink.
I know we're going to be friends, too, because I like to do everything boys and girls like to do. Especially when it comes to eating those delicious McDonald's hamburgers. A magic tray here keeps me well supplied. McDonald's hamburgers, french fries, and milkshakes. Watch for me on TV. We'll have lots of fun.
This imaginary, of course, has caused some viewers to question if there was any sexual nature behind this, but it's likely that this
Sounded
was
like
just the most convenient way to work the meal into the outfit. The actor that portrayed the clown was Willard Scott, who later grew to fame as the weatherman of Today on NBC. Even without the makeup, and all these years later, you can still see a scary resemblance. Throughout the years, good old Mickey D's has had its share of scary commercials, questionable
right.
ads, psycho Happy Meal boxes,
What the?
and of course several
Awesome,
different
man.
designs for their popular clown. But this original portrayal seems to take the cake because it has that
I don't
old
think that
60s
could be
found
scary,
footage
bro.
aura to it that
Imagine
makes the
waking up and
already
seeing that
unsettling
every
clown even more nightmarish. Number 7. Bad Breath Kills.
Damn
This
right.
commercial takes the idea of the Holocaust and dictator-controlled countries to advertise their mouthwash.
Wow.
It has gained plenty of backlash from viewers as it seems to make the light of very serious historical events. Politics aside, though, this commercial is pretty terrifying simply for the way it depicts a dictatorship. A young man is pulled away by guards and led to a dark gray, rundown, and damp chamber.
What kind of shit? We're not brushing his teeth.
It's very clear that this is a play on the gas chambers of the Holocaust that killed millions. This victim is apparently being sentenced to this gas chamber for his crimes of bad breath, as he is strapped into a seat that resembles an electric chair.
I can
The
understand
giant
that.
cement door is slammed and sealed as a small crowd watches in horror. The leader raises up a hand which signals for vents to be opened, and through these vents, mouths filled with greenish-yellow teeth open wide and let out ghastly breath.
What the fuck? Oh my god.
The idea is that this prisoner is being tortured by horrible breath from several disgusting mouths. The depiction of gas chambers, the grotesque mouths, and the slow opera music playing over the scene makes the scene more like a historical reenactment of hell. As the scene ends,
Looking
the
at that, it
message,
looks like he
Bad
looks
Breath
like
Kills,
hell, so.
Frieza Kills Bad Breath, comes on screen. Number 6. The Heart She Holler. Adult Swim has always been known for its late-night terrifying ads and specials such as unedited footage of a bear, Crooked Rod, and several of the dark infomercials that air around 4 a.m.
True.
It seems that the network
That should be
loves to
creepy.
prey on those night owls barely dozing off. This ad in particular is probably amongst some of Adult Swim's most terrifying work. The 30-second commercial features a pale white woman laughing hysterically. She has white hair, totally whited out eyes, and dark red lips which frame rotting teeth.
No, I'm gonna have to fucking end this because I'm not doing this. I'm going to sleep tonight. I ain't slept good in 2 days. I'm off of 5 hours in the last 2 days. I'm not doing this. I'm gonna leave the link in the description. So the rest is up to y'all, man. Damn.